Ladies and gentlemen, the time is almost at hand. Thus far, 2014 has not been entirely fair to the gaming community. We've been left empty-handed and there's not been a single game to fulfill our desire for a perfect racing title. But that's all about to change because Hello Kitty Kruisers is finally in stores.
What, did you think I was talking about Mario Kart 8? Pfft, hell no! Everyone knows that the real hype is because of Hello Kitty Kruisers, the best racing game ever. And I genuinely mean that.
Disclaimer, I do not genuinely mean that.
Yeah, so I may have stretched the truth a little bit. A lot of bit. This is a bad game. Which is weird, right? How could something so worldly renowned that reels in $5 billion a year possibly be awful? Turn your motives into a big cash grab, that's how. This game is all about the advertising, folks. It sort of follows the same path that games such as Spot the 7-Up mascot and Pepsi Man took. Think of it this way, it'd be as if Hot Topic or Build-A-Bear Workshop were to make a game. Not a good idea. Wait. That sounds f***ing awesome. I gotta go. But that's enough complaining about brand promotion. Let's get into some good reasons as to why this game is below average.
So first things first, you put that puppy in your Wii U, start it up, and immediately notice that this game has one of the most annoying startup sequences ever. I don't have footage of the sequence, but trust me, it's like someone took the most annoying ringtone on their phone and forgot to turn it on to vibrate. After recovering from a massive ear bleed that this game's boot title causes, the game itself fires up, presenting one of the most boring title menus I've ever seen. The entire background is static, and to make matters worse, it's just a copy and paste from the cover art. At least the music is peppy and uplifting. You can play with up to 4 people on a split screen setting, but the Wiimote and Nunchuck aren't compatible, so that kind of blows if you don't have multiple Wii U controllers. As for game modes, you've got your quick play, tournament, and adventure!
That sounds epic! My body is ready, Hello Kitty! Bring on the awesome! Oh my god.
I hate to be critical of the game before it even starts, but this loading screen is extremely dull.
I realize that your target audience is kids and they're easily amused, but they're also easily bored. I, honest to God, could make a flashier loading screen.
Let's throw in a little Hello Kitty animation, some stars, flowers, Ozzy can join in too, and there you go. That took me 5 minutes and already it's funner to look at. Sorry, I'm being too judgmental again. Alright, character roster, and I must say, these options are pretty adorable, even though I had no remote idea that this many characters existed in Hello Kitty, besides, you know, Hello Kitty. That aside, I'm going with Pissed Off Penguin, because his name is Botched Maru, and he don't give a f***. Ooh, they even have little outfits, how cute! Not to mention, little pimped out rides. Though in all honesty, these vehicles don't offer much diversity appearance-wise, and none of them have unique or any stats for that matter, so when you pick a vehicle, it just comes down to which is the purtiest. You'll notice, however, that there are cars, boats, and planes, which suggests that the map terrains will differentiate from one another. So that's cool.
And at a glance, yeah, these maps seem pretty immaculate and diverse. But, keyword, at a glance. Further speculation suggests that this game is nothing more than repetitive drag-and-drop shit from start to finish. In round 1 of the tournament, you might be cruising along Cosmic Way in your car. Then in round 2, you'll play the same track, but with planes. Woo! Innovative! Overall, there are only about 5, I repeat, 5 maps in the entire game. They're just recycled a number of times to trick you into thinking that there's more than that. But there's not. I've seen games 20 years older that have more variety. I've got to commend these guys on their deceptive techniques though. Very clever, you tricky bastards. I guess they just figured they could get away with it since their target audience is little kids. And that's another thing. I realize that you're targeting the youngins, but this game is way too easy. I performed a completely blind run on the tournament and came in first every single time except for once without even having to break a sweat. And I'm not gloating, I performed poorly and still I dominated the competition. The AI is dumb and the obstacles barely set you off course as they can be dodged with ease. In fact, you just fade through them half the time. There aren't any pitfalls or water hazards, so no need to worry about that, and if you hit a wall, you'll usually just be bounced right back on track anyways without being hindered. Adventure mode is a little bit harder, but not by much. You'll still breeze through it if you give even just a tiny bit of effort. Well, now that I beat the game and did all the bonus missions, let's see how long it took me to win.
What you say? That you only meant well.
1 hour and 50 fucking minutes? And that's just my recording time. When I recorded, I took bathroom breaks, I was navigating through tons of menus to try to connect my Wii remotes that weren't compatible with the game, and I wasn't sitting there the whole time playing the game, so really, it took me about an hour and a half to win. And was it worth it? Not by a f***ing long shot. Granted, the game is only $20, but that is still too high of a price to pay for just over an hour of gameplay. At the most, this should have been a $5 digital download, not a hard copy sold on store shelves. And sure, now I've got all the unlockables, but why should I care? It's not like there's any replay value to be had, and these unlockables are horrible. I'll give them some slack with the characters because those are somewhat unique, but the vehicles are very slightly different. Like, oh, you've got a blue plane? Here, have a blue plane with a heart on it. Yeah! Wasted effort. Not that it took much effort to unlock these things in the first place, but still. Mediocre prize for a mediocre attempt, I suppose. And I realize it's a kid's game and it's not supposed to be super hard, but this is just unacceptably easy. You know what else is a kid's game? Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing, and those are both kid-friendly. And if you want to look at your demographics, the numbers will show that in recent years, adults and late teens have bought more Hello Kitty merchandise than any other age group. So, with those statistics on hand, why would you expect the majority of purchasers to be kids? Difficulty factor aside, the gameplay is kinda wonky, especially during some of the plane segments. Sometimes the camera has to awkwardly readjust itself while flying through certain areas, which is really strenuous to watch. Also, if you end up colliding with the side of the track, sometimes you'll bump right back, sometimes you'll get stuck in the worst way possible. The character models don't move much, even in instances where they should. They sorta came close with one of the rabbit characters by making her ears kinda flop with the wind, but it still looks terrible. The controls are responsive, but looking at this game is a total eyesore. Everything just looks unnatural, to the characters you play as, to your surroundings, to these poor excuses for crabs. Yes, those two-dimensional moving blobs are supposed to be crabs. The best way I can describe this game in a nutshell is unfinished. It truly does feel like an unfinished and uninspired game at that. There are a few power-ups you can obtain, but they bring nothing new to the table. You get a cupcake that launches at other players, a speed boost power-up, a rainbow thing that speeds you up and makes you invincible. As for the cupcakes, let's be honest, the only deadly thing about those things are the 10,000 calories that's in them. Ha! It's clear that this game deserves nothing better than the score that I'm about to give it, which is a 3.5 out of 10. There is some fun to be had if you're really young or just really bored, but that doesn't help hide this game's major fault. That being that it's just too simple. This game was obviously just an attempt to make a few bucks because Hello Kitty Cruisers is an uninspired piece of garbage that perfectly exemplifies game design at its bare minimum. Sorry, Hello Kitty fans. Better stick to your clothing and your sunglasses and your iPhone cases because this is not something to add to your collection. If you like this video, you should give a like and then comment down below telling me what you thought. I have a Twitter, so you can follow me on there, or if you want to watch some of my other videos, that'd be cool too. Thanks for being so awesome, everyone. I'll be sure to see you next time, and until then, peace.